Hola, necesitas sacar tu paquete de gramática porque hoy vamos a tomar apuntes sobre the imperfect tense. You will hopefully recall that in Spanish there are two past tenses, the preterite and the imperfect. In Unidad 1, Lección 1, we went over the preterite tense, the endings, the irregulars, everything. In Unidad 1, Lección 2, we are going to be reviewing the imperfect tense, which you did learn last year in Spanish 2 before you did that really awesome book project. Let's review what the imperfect tense would kind of be like in English before we get started with the Spanish side of things. In English, you use the simple past tense, I wanted to surf, or expressions like used to or always to describe actions that were ongoing or recurring. So think of it as like the preterite would be I surfed, and the imperfect would be I wanted to surf, or I used to surf, or I always surfed. I used to go to the beach in the afternoon. Iba a la playa por la tarde. So, when am I going to use the imperfect tense? Well, the imperfect is used to describe something that was not perfected or not completed in the past. You're going to use it to talk about something that was happening, talk about something you used to do, say how old someone was, and tell what time it was. So just to review, you are going to be using the imperfect tense for actions that were ongoing, recurring, or incomplete in the past. Here are some examples of words that you will often associate with the imperfect tense. A veces, cada año, de vez en cuando, frecuentemente, muchas veces, todas las semanas, todos los días, cada día, con frecuencia, siempre, todo el tiempo. Those are words that you're often going to be seeing used with the imperfect tense. Let's go ahead and review our imperfect AR endings. They are aba, abas, aba, abamos, and aban. I like to call my imperfect AR endings my abas. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can conjugate the verb parar, que significa to stand. Go ahead and conjugate it on your own, and then we will check our conjugations together. Muy bien. Ahora vamos a checar nuestras conjugaciones del verbo parar en el imperfecto. Yo paraba, tú parabas, él, ella, usted paraba, nosotros, nosotros parábamos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes paraban. Were those the conjugaciones you got as well? Muy bien. Let's go ahead and review now our imperfect ER and IR endings. Yes, the ER and IR endings in the imperfect tense are the exact same. Ia, ias, ia, íamos, and ian. Please note that every ending has an accent mark for the ER and IR endings in the imperfect tense. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can practice conjugating el verbo mantener, que significa to keep, in el imperfecto. When you're done conjugating, go ahead and press play and we will check our conjugations together. Muy bien, ahora vamos a checar nuestras conjugaciones del verbo mantener en el imperfecto. Yo mantenía, tú mantenías, él, ella, usted mantenía, nosotros, nosotros manteníamos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes mantenían. Hopefully those were the same conjugaciones that you got. Let's also practice with an IR verb in el imperfecto, reunir, que significa to get together. Go ahead and pause the video so you can practice conjugating reunir en el imperfecto. Ok, muy bien. Ahora vamos a checar nuestras conjugaciones del verbo reunir en el imperfecto. Yo reunía, tú reunías, él, ella, usted reunía, nosotros, nosotros reuníamos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes reunían. Did you get those conjugations? Were they the same as mine? Muy bien. So, when you're looking at verbs in the imperfect tense, did you notice that two of the conjugations are the exact same? That's because the yo form and the usted, el, ella forms are the exact same in the imperfect tense. Ahora vamos a practicar conjugando en el imperfecto. Tú necesitas traducir las oraciones a español. While you're translating these sentences into Spanish, go ahead and pause the video so you can take as much time as you need. Ok, ahora vamos a checar nuestros ejemplos. We always kept the car clean. Siempre manteníamos el carro limpio. When I was little, I liked to write. Cuando era pequeño, a mí me gustaba escribir. We used to work at Ronnie's. Trabajábamos, which is a fun word to say, in Ronnie's. So, why should you love the imperfect tense? Well, first of all, there are only 3 irregular verbs in the imperfect, and there are no stem-changing verbs. So, this is probably the easiest tense in the Spanish language. Let's go ahead and review those 3 irregulars that we have, though. Ir significa to go. Do you remember the conjugaciones of ir en el imperfecto? Let's go over them. Yo iba, tú ibas, él, ella, usted iba, nosotros, nosotras íbamos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes iban. Ser significa to be. Yo era, tú eras, él, ella, usted era, nosotros, nosotros, nosotras éramos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes eran. Y finalmente el verbo ver significa to see or to watch. Yo veía, tú veías, él, ella, usted veía, nosotros, nosotras veíamos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes veían. When we look at our 3 irregular verbs in the imperfect, by the way, did I mention how awesome it is that there's only 3? Please note that the nosotros form of every irregular verb has an accent. Here I have an example, a sentence with 2 of the irregulars used in it. It was 8 o'clock and we were watching the sunset. Eran las 8 y veíamos la puesta del sol. Let's go ahead and practice a little bit more conjugating in the imperfect tense. Go ahead and pause your video while you conjugate on your own. Merendar significa to snack. Press play when you're ready to check your conjugaciones. Ok, muy bien. Vamos a checar nuestras conjugaciones del verbo merendar en el imperfecto. Yo merendaba, tú merendabas, él, ella, usted merendaba, nosotros, nosotras merendábamos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes merendaban. Did you get the same conjugaciones as I did? Muy bien. Vamos a practicar con otro verbo, recoger, significa to pick up. Go ahead and pause your video so you can conjugate this ER verb in el imperfecto. Yo recogía, tú recogías, él, ella, usted recogía, nosotros, nosotras recogíamos, y ellos, ellas, ustedes recogían. Did you get the same conjugaciones this time too? Muy bien.